three. I've been feeling so small. Watch the clock ticking off the wall. But tonight I'm letting it go. Spend my coin for sure. I'm gonna be myself, or I could be someone else. No one's stopping me now.
Hi there, welcome back. If you are new here, welcome. And if you're my previous subscribers, welcome my baby subscribers. I had no idea that it came out, so I do apologize. But, so for today's video, the main purpose of today's video is we're going to discuss and talk about, is the endemic here? If you don't know what endemic means, it just basically means the end of the pandemic. We're going to kind of talk about that, or are we too early? So we're going to discuss that. Everything will be timestamped in the description below with the question. If you are here with me live now, feel free to interact with the live chat. I'll be happy to talk to you and communicate with you during this live. This will be a short live, I am hoping. I want to keep it short as possible just so people can watch it. If not, if it's too long, just go to the description like I always say. Just click on a certain question that interests you and just watch those certain sections. It will be a lot shorter than watching a big video if it was to be big. I am aiming though for 30 minutes, but I cannot guarantee that. So now for the main part of today's video, I just want to let you guys know I do apologize for what happened in the live with me, Marie, and Water Vendetta. It was a really good live if you were there. Thank you all for coming. And if you have missed it, it's okay. Marie Table accidentally deleted it or had deleted it on purpose due to troubleshooting with the camera going in and out and the internet just being really blocky. I do apologize for that. So if you're wondering what happened, there is no data or no video that's up. However, we will be planning to do another live in the future. We'll let you know when I come closer. However, if you have not already voted in my community page, go do that. These are the little things that we're going to be doing and talking about over the next couple of weeks. If you're wondering why specifically we're focusing on climate change, normally I focus heavily on the channel politics. I want a nice change from everything that's going on in terms of the world. I want to talk about and bring awareness to everything that's going on in terms of climate. In this case, it's a natural disaster and also a little bit of man-made disaster as well in this video. So we're going to kind of explore that in more depth and kind of find out when is the pandemic ending, right? Now, if you are realizing that YouTube is not notifying you when I am live or you want to communicate with me on a deeper level, you can go hit the follow button in the description below, and you can go to my Facebook page and you can follow that if you have Facebook. Again, people always feel worried that I'm going to somehow find them and stalk them. Let me tell you here, I'm not Michael Myers. You do not have to worry. I do not have intention of coming to find you and going in your house. No intention there. But if you want to go join the Facebook Live, Facebook group, highly recommend it. You get free reading. We do live streams and stuff like that. Sometimes, not all the time because I am busy. But if you want some free perks, there are some free perks as well. Hello, love. Thank you for another fine video today. I appreciate it. You must be David. Your energy feels like David. Let me know if I am wrong. All right, guys. This will be a live stream on March 21st, 2022 at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right, if you want to book a reading with me, my website's in the description below. I had just opened it up. Either I am right now either offering a 20% off or a 10% off. You have to go to my website to get that deal. All right. Now, you don't have to necessarily book it right away. You can book it months in advance if you wanted to with that discount. You just have to make sure you don't cancel, otherwise you lose the discount. Here's some disclaimers on your screen right now. This is just for entertainment purposes only and for education purposes only, okay? My job here on this video is not to fear-monger you, not to get you scared in any particular way. It's just to bring a sense of awareness and understanding to what's going on in the world and globally, and to shed some light and bring some healing energy to it. That's all. I'm not trying to scare you. And here are some other disclaimers as well. You can pause the video if you want to read them on your own time here. We're going to jump ahead, and let's just begin. Shall we? At the end of today's live, we will be doing Easter egg messages at the end of the video for you, so definitely stay tuned, okay? I will be putting my Easter bunny ears again. I will be doing little messages for you, so if you just want to jump to the timestamp just for that, you can just wait, or if you're watching this on replay, just hit the timestamps, okay? I promise you, it'll be good. All right, let's jump into it. I'm still like chaotic. I did not have coffee today. I just had a dragon fruit straight from Starbucks. Hi, Stara. Hi, E. Lopez. Hi, E. Lopez. Thank you for your spiritual efforts and guidance. You're welcome, love. You must I don't think you are new. I've seen you many times on the channel, so thank you for coming. I really do appreciate it. All right, so where are we now with COVID? What does the current future look like? Now, thing is, why we ask where we are with COVID is that this video might just be temporary. It could very well change in the next hour. It could very well change within the next week or so. So, this future is not set in stone. It's not certain. If it stays the same than what I've been seeing over the past 2 years, then, we're on the same track here. But if we deviate from what I have gotten in the past, then that means time to change energetically. All right, let's take a look. This card flew out, so we'll be using this card as well, Monology, when I was just asking the deck. All right, so let's take a look. We're going to use Ask Your Guide here. Oh. Okay, well, not the deck I wanted, but I was attracted to the cover, so we'll just use it. Spirit Angels tell me about where are we right now with COVID? How does the future look? What does the future look like? Again, I'm aiming for a 30-minute video, so it's not going to be long. Oh, this is so beautiful. Oh my God. Oh, this is so beautiful. Oh my God. Okay, I'm happy I got this deck. All right, let me just figure out where to put this. All right, we're going to get affirmation cards as well later on, just so you guys can feel better about yourself. We're going to get butterfly, because butterflies are a very spiritual and transformative creature. So we're going to take a look at that, because we are asking for a transitional time period and what that's going to look like. So butterflies would be a good depiction of trying to figure out what that's going to look like. So let's take a look. So Spirit Angels, tell me, where are we right now with COVID? What does the current future look like in COVID during the COVID pandemic? What does it look like for us? All right, they try me to turn the deck over. What does it look like, Spirit Angel? The COVID pandemic. What does the current future look like energetically? Okay, that's too many cards. What does it look like energetically? There's too many, but we'll use them. So there's 2 cards go together, and these 3 cards go together. So there might be two meanings separately. All right, and then let's take a look at the fortune cookie. Let's see what the next 3 years hold for the pandemic. Okay. Hi, Diva. What's up, love? Spirit and Angel, please tell me a little bit more about how are people interacting within the next 3 years after the COVID pandemic has ended? Okay, and one more. How are people interacting? Oh, someone's getting something on. Okay, we'll find out in a minute. I promise you. There's a good positivity. I'm happy actually. Okay. Thank you, love. I can't believe it too. I can't believe I'll be able to put my bunny ears back on. Okay, so the first card here is we're asking, how does COVID look, and where are we heading with COVID in the next couple of years? Well, at the end of the COVID pandemic, we're going to have a lot of people in nursing. So you can definitely expect, because of everything that we learned as a collective, as a group, as a society, that we need to be more dependent on one another, to be kinder to one another, to be more appreciative of one another. Now, you cannot expect it from everybody, because everybody will so act like, an a-hole. But there are people out there who were an a-hole who now no longer an a-hole. Okay? So that's what I'm kind of seeing here. I'm seeing that people have a change of heart, kind of like the Grinch. You know what I mean? Which is kind of shocking. I mean, there are better people who need that, but these people here are change of heart, we'll take what we can get, right? And that's why we have the divine helpers here. The divine helpers is definitely a definition. Oh my God, I'm not even speaking right. I'm speaking gibberish. This is telling me here that there's a change of heart, and that there are more people in this world now who are given and understanding, more empathetic of one another, can understand other person's pain. So it feels like, in a way, with loss comes connection, right? It feels like in some way, when you go on a date, for example, let's use a dating scene, right? When somebody goes on a date with a girl and there's a guy here and they meet, right? They come from 2 different backgrounds. So one of them is Muslim, the other one is Christian, right? two very distinct polar opposites, even according to the gender themselves. So when they meet and they talk and they communicate, they talk about that very time when they were 20 years old and the pandemic was occurring, and they both talk about how one lost his mother, another one lost his father. She lost her father, and they understand how each other feel. They understand on a deeper connective soul level of how that feels to lose somebody. And so it feels like even though there's a loss here, a definite loss, it brings a lot of people together. So what I see here in terms of the end of the pandemic, that loss brings connection. People who normally wouldn't belong together, who come together to realize that we're all the same. There is nothing different. All of us may have different situations that may arise, but we all came to the same conclusion. And so, really, what it's going to do is allow us to become more inclusive as a society. So that's what I'm definitely seeing here, that there's going to be more inclusivity, more understanding, more empathy for other people. So this is definitely positive energy here. We have higher self epiphany, right? People are going to remember. They're almost going to feel like in the future when this happening, people are going to think back to the pandemic and think, what? It's been that long ago. And they're even gonna tell themselves. It almost feels like it was a dream. It feels like it never actually happened. And it almost feels like a lot of people feel like the Mandela effect, where it never actually happened. It was just something in the brain that made people think that it actually happened. But it almost feels like there's a mental thing going on here. There's a mental change, almost like because the reason why it didn't really happen in a way is because it's a spiritual thing, right? So the more high vibrational you are, the less likely you are to get COVID, and because you are highly more vibrational, you are less likely to be more attained to the three-dimensional diseases. So in that case, it will be a spiritual one, which is why people in this way will be able to evolve to the higher self, because they're going to get a epiphany where they're going to get messages like almost like deja vu. Potentially, maybe this means that we may enter into a scenario very similar to the way COVID was, and it may have deja vu, which could be what this is talking about, where it feels like we're revisiting what was like in the past, which is currently right now the present. Right, but I don't see a lot of darkness. I don't see a lot of despair for the future when it comes to what happened after COVID. I don't see a lot of despair. I feel like a lot of people understand death in a more deeper sense. Like it's no longer the typical hell, heaven. I'm gonna miss my parents. I'm gonna miss my sister. I'm gonna miss my brother. I miss my cousin. I miss my nephew. It feels like yes, that might be on the physical level, but on an understanding level, when it comes to the spirituality of things, people are gonna be more understanding. Like they feel like they're not alone in it. They feel like they can connect with other people, which is why we have nature spirits. A lot of people during the pandemic, it feels like a lot of them had the luxury when they passed away after COVID, or even like during COVID pandemic, or even a little bit after the pandemic is over. It feels like in some way those people are not locked in between both worlds. What does it mean that they're not allowed? They're almost like, for example, ghosts. That's basically what they are, ghosts. Right? Energetic ghosts who have not been able to go into the light, or have not been able to extend, because there's something here that's keeping them here. But a lot of them have been able and fortunate enough to actually leave the plane of Earth and actually to move forward. This also is referring to spirits who have died centuries ago as well. So a lot of them are leaving Earth. A lot of them are extending. A lot of them are leaving. So I am seeing that here. So you may see a lessening of spiritual activity in terms of people interacting with ghosts and stuff like that. But there may be cases where people just want to tell you their story before they go. So I would not be surprised if there's going to be more content about people encountering ghosts and listening to their stories as well. I would not be surprised if that was to happen. So kind of interesting, a little bit different than what one was expecting here. We have motivation and new career. So what's going to happen in terms of the global scale, even in the United States, but this is more talking globally. We have here motivation. So a lot of people are going to have the motivation to do the things that they never have done before. So I would not be surprised if people become more adventurous. They travel more. So maybe if you don't eat chocolate, maybe you start eating chocolate. Because people realize that life is too precious to take for granted. So people will take advantage of every opportunity that they have to do the things that they want, so that when they die, they don't live in regret. And that's what the motivation card is coming. Like, for example, for me, when I was in Italy, I was afraid to be by myself. I was afraid to just do the things that I wanted to do. But as the pandemic went on, I realized that, there's no one going to be able to hold my hand except me. And so I took myself on dates. I, bought myself dinner, and I sat down and I literally talked to myself, or not like one of those people, but like I talked to myself in my head. And there's nothing wrong with people who do talk out loud. I do that as well. But I understand at a deeper level that because of my fear, it prevented me from doing the experiences that I really wanted. And so COVID has really taught me to, even if you're scared, do it anyway, because tomorrow, the next day, you may not have that opportunity again, right? I may never have that opportunity to be back in Italy, right? We also have your change in career. So definitely, if you want to change career, this is definitely the time to do it. Even after post COVID, people will be changing jobs continuously. So there's going to be a big shift in terms of job changes. So potentially this is going to be related to minimum wage as well. Is also going to be related to, like, honestly, in like the blue collar, white collar particular areas. So like nursing, practitioner, physician. I kind of see a revitalization of what's happening in the Rust Belt. I kind of feel the Rust Belt coming back, but it's not going to be industrial zones. It's going to be green zones, where it's basically going to be called green collar jobs, where they transform the Rust Belt back into its economic powerhouse, but more economically more green. Um, I'm also seeing here as well, there's also going to be a lot of northern jobs. So there's going to be a lot of jobs in the north. I don't know what that means. It could be the name North, the company North. I don't know, but there's going to be a lot of jobs here for a lot of people. There's going to be a brand new creation. So there's actually going to be more jobs than there are people on Earth, which is actually astonishing. So that's what I see in one pile here. In terms of the another butterfly here, we have reverse here. We have welcome the new. So a lot of people are going to be not very okay with welcoming the new world, right, that we're living in. So those are people who are so stuck in the past, stuck in their own ways. We have your self-care. So a lot of people are going to become more appreciative of trying to look after themselves first. So I would definitely advise, if you have not already, take care of your skin, take care of everything. I'm going to keep talking about in another video as well why skin is very important in terms of its own health going forward, especially when it comes to climate change. So self-care is a definite, especially after COVID, without a doubt. I don't think a psychic needs to know that, but the card came up, so you might as well mention it. We have sentimental feeling. People are starting to become more passionate towards one another, more feeling, more empathetic, right? People are going to start to feel again, start to become themselves. People are going to start to become who they really are. People are going to forget who they were so that they become who they really are, right? They're going to break that eggshell. Now, as for the red cards here, we have one of the four major takeaways from what the future is going to look like. These are the four big ones. I mean, the three big ones. We have health, without a doubt. Changing the way that we view health, right? Maybe there might be more support for healthcare. I said that we're going to get healthcare in the United States, but in terms of the global way, self-care, physical care, how we take care of ourselves outwardly, a friendship where we work and stuff like that. Sorry, my nose is really nasally. You can kind of tell it's springtime. We have nature, going out in nature, taking care of nature, having more empathetic feeling to nature, helping nature out. So I do feel like a lot of you guys are going to be out in the field. Some of you guys are going to be helping with gardening and stuff like that. A lot of you guys are going to become more invested in the future about doing the things that you wanted that you never would have done before. So I see some of you guys hiking. I see some of you guys traveling. I see some of you guys in nature reserves, actually. Then we also have here love life. For some of you guys, you're going to find love. Some of you guys are going to, this is on a global scale, by the way. This is not a personal reading for you, but if it resonates with you, it's definitely for you, okay? And I don't know why I did that. It's not like I'm choking you, but if you need that choke to wake up, then sure. Just for entertainment purposes only. I would never have the intention to choke you. Anyway, just don't like it. Anyway, besides the point, we have love life here. So again, it's kind of talking about self-love, but same thing with self-care. But a lot of you guys, I feel like a lot of you guys are gonna find who you are meant to be with. That might even mean not physically in terms of love with someone else, but it might just be you find love within yourself, and that's really important. So a love life could also be a new animal. That's only for some of you guys. All right, so that's a beautiful message. I'm really happy it's positive. What do you guys think so far? Okay. Will the pandemic end, and will we have to live with COVID in our lives? Just like the 1918 flu. So let's take a look. Whew, hold on. My nose is nasally. I apologize. Trying to keep this video as short as possible, but I honestly do not think it's going to be as short. I'll try to speed through it, though, I promise. But I really like the positive messages, so I do hope you do stay for the rest of the video, even if you need to break it up to time schedule to fit this video in. I think it's important that you watch this. But I won't force you to do whatever you want to do. If you want to do, you don't have to. I won't force you. All right, so let's take a look. Will the pandemic end, and will we have to live with COVID in our lives just like the 1918 flu? Let's take a look. Let's use this deck here. Make it nice and simple. If I need more cards, I'll get more cards, but we'll use this one. All right, Spirit Angel, tell me, will we have to live with COVID-19 after the pandemic ends? Will we have to live with that? Just like the 1918 flu, will we have to live with the flu every year? These are good. Okay, here's what I'm seeing. You remember how I told you that COVID is a spiritual disease? That's what I'm seeing here. Because we have here, if you look, we have property, difficult times, manifestation, opportunities, intuition, and at the bottom of the card here, we have tough and trying times. So for some people, the more negative you are, the more negative energy you hold, the more likely you will be heavily affected by COVID when it comes to this point. So if we start living with COVID, which I 100% believe we are going to be doing, if you are very negative, you will have COVID. You will catch it. You'll be very sick. However, for some of you guys, this might just mean that you might be a very positive person, but the people you're around, interacting with, and stuff like that might be putting their energy onto you. So it doesn't necessarily mean you particularly. When I say negative energy, I don't mean that you're a bad person. I don't think you're mean. I'm saying that in terms of negative energy. So like being worried all the time, being sorry, is that negative energy? I think that more of a neutral, but being in state of fear, all those type of low dense energy emotions will be what brings you down on a level. So if you want to be more in the alkaline area, you want to be thinking more positive thoughts like joy, happiness, caring, loving, appreciation, gratitude. Those type of things will lift you up. So I'm seeing here that more COVID in the future is going to become more of a spiritual disease. So the more positive you are, the better and more defense system that you will have against it. The less positive you are, the less likely you are to defend yourself against it. So, for example, you might be feeling very sad one day, you might catch it, and you might be really sick. Doesn't necessarily mean you're a bad person. This basically means that you would just happen to catch it at the time that when you were the most vulnerable speaking. So it doesn't mean that you're a bad person. So I just want to put that out there. But yeah, that's what I'm getting. I'm getting that it's more of a spiritual thing. But and the good thing though is that there's a kind of like a check and balance for you as well. So if you're ever worried about like, how do I know if I'm on the right track? How do I know if I'm on the wrong track? Well, if you get COVID, you're gonna know you're on the wrong track because you kind of keep putting yourself in that dense energy. And also you can heal yourself just particularly by lifting up your positive vibrations. So there is hope here. Even if we do live with COVID, you will have possibilities to heal yourself by lifting yourself up positively. You have a defense mechanism by just staying positive. And if you get it, all you have to do is just lift up your positive energy and you'll be fine. It also allows you to know at times that, things are going to be okay. And the spirit's just telling you, listen, you're thinking negatively, we're going to give you COVID, just to let you know that you need to think a little bit more positive. So don't always think that when you get it, it's a bad thing. It's not. It could also be a blessing. It could be an answer that you've been asking for. It might just manifest in a way that maybe you may have not wanted, but you weren't listening to the other side, so they have to manifest in a way that you will listen. Okay, will there be any major event that may keep the pandemic growing longer and end it quickly? So, if for some of you guys who are saying end it quickly, I just want to tell you to hold your horses, okay? Hold your horses. It was Angel 2020, Angel number 2424. Hold your horses for a second. When you want something to end very quickly, that doesn't really mean a good sign. For example, some of those things that ended quickly may be war. So just be very careful what you wish for, okay? I always said this on my channel as well. I always told you guys, a lot of you guys kept saying, I want the pandemic to end, and I told you, you probably don't want it to once you realize what's coming. Because, sometimes we take for granted what we have. A lot of us think about it. This is a blessing. A lot of us been asking for this for years. Even some of you guys been asking this for decades, for time off from the job, from work, from social, from family, and you finally got it. It's just maybe not in the way that you wanted, but you got it nonetheless. And you've been able to spend more quality time with the people that you love. Or sometimes, for some of you guys, that may not always be possible. Sometimes you have to love yourself as well. Some of you guys need to spend time with you. So there is positivity here. So don't always think that like the negative. There's always positive in every situation. So one of the positive of the COVID pandemic was it allowed us to do the thing that we were never able to, and that was in America at least to have time off, right? So let's take a look. Will there be any major event that may keep the pandemic going longer or end it quickly? Let's take a look. I'm going to use my homemade tower deck. I'm going to cut this. No, I'm not going to cut this video. If you want to watch it and you want to jump to a certain question in today's video, just go to the timestamp in the description below. All right. Let's take a look. Spirit Angel, Tommy, will there be any major event that may keep the pandemic going longer, or will it end quickly? And will there any event that will end it quickly? They told me to flip the deck. Any sort of like, if the cards come out, I'm just going to ignore it unless there's something important on the back of it. Okay, Spirit Angel, Tommy, will there be any major event that may keep the pandemic going longer? So I'm going to look up two possibilities. One that's going to tell us, will there be anything that keeps it going longer? And will there be anything that keeps it from, stopping early? You know what I mean? So two outcomes here. Show me outcome number one, where a major event that may keep the pandemic going longer. What would that be? It could even be the war too. War can very well keep the pandemic going longer as the transference of diseases during war. So that's always a possibility. Okay. All right. Ah! Yes, finally, I got an answer. Yeah, okay. Sorry. I'm so happy I got an answer for this. Will there be anything, any major event that would keep the pandemic ended very quickly? There will be any major event that will end the pandemic quickly. What's on the back of it? Wow, this makes a lot of sense. Okay. Okay. All right, guys. It's kind of funny. Okay, it's very funny that this card came out. Hello, Lon. Okay, let me know if you guys feel like you're vibrating with the energy today. I really love the positivity. Okay, so for the outcome number one, will there be any major event that may keep the pandemic going any longer or end it quickly? So this is my homemade tower deck. I wanted something that would be able to give me a definitive yes or no, and we have a no. So no, there will be no major event that would prolong the pandemic. So that's good news. That's a good, quick, and easy answer. As for what will make the pandemic end quickly, major event that will make the pandemic end very quickly, I think you're going to laugh. A Republican president. Oh. I hope it's not Trump. Okay, we have here a Republican president. Okay, we have him here. And then we have a political debate from 2016. So there's something in the debate there. It could also be during election season. It could even be during the midterm. So potentially, it's possible that a Republican president will be the one to end the pandemic very quickly. It makes sense. Republicans are very well known to ending a lot of things when it comes to the pandemic. So it's kind of funny the card came out and said that in particular. All right. So that's what we have for this particular question. Again, everything timestamped in the description below if you just want to kind of check out each thing. All right, this is the last question, then we're going to jump into the main part. What's the Easter egg messages? I promise you. What is the long and short term effect of COVID? What are also the effect of long COVID. Now, longer term effect, we're going to talk about that. I talked this many times on my channel, so I'm going to kind of read it blindly and kind of see what comes to me now. As for the long COVID, we're going to talk about that particularly. This is kind of like where COVID affects you very badly, like how COVID affects your body and, people who never really recovered from COVID-19. So we're going to talk about that as well. And for some of you guys may be suffering from some of this. We're going to talk about that. And yeah, let's see, right? We had a lot of positivity today, so that's good news. So hopefully you guys, we keep the motives here. We keep this thing here. All right, so what's the short-term effect of COVID-19? Let's take a look. Okay. Okay, Spirit Angel, tell me, what is the long-term effect of COVID-19, having COVID? What's the long-term effects? Okay. So these are three main areas that I see in terms of the effects of COVID long term. Again, I'm not a medical examiner or practitioner or any sort. I am just a tarot card reader, just doing this for entertainment purposes only. All right, so the first card here is we have this. I trust myself. What I see here kind of affects the brain. So it feels like in some way or some form, the long term effects of COVID will have to be involved with the dental deterioration of the brain cells. So potentially may be involved with that. I also feel like one of the long-term effects is deafness. So it might be related to loss of hearing or eyesight, one of those senses, but particularly hearing. On the left side here, we have I am today at peace. I feel like some of you guys, in terms of long-term COVID, would be directly correlated to the stomach. The stomach, I feel like some of you guys as well, not for you guys particularly, but I feel like on a global scale here, I feel like for men in particular, a lot of them will become infertile. But infertile. I feel like a lot of them, it has affected their sperm count. And because of that, it has been unable to basically reproduce in terms of having kids. That's one of the effects here. It doesn't. It just does not mean it's going to affect everybody. Okay, this is just an overview of it. I'm not a medical practitioner. Today I am special. I feel like for some people here, kind of again with this decrease in sperm count in terms of long term, I am sensing here that there's going to be a lot more kids coming out who are going to be who are going to have autism. What's it called? I'm also seeing extra chromosome. What's those people? Oh my god, I forgot. There's like I don't know what it is. It just left my mind for a second. It's like somebody who had an extra chromosome. I do see kids like that. I don't know what they're called. Oh, Down syndrome. That's what it is. I do see people with Down syndrome here. And what's good, really good about this as well is going to bring a lot of awareness to people who have autism, and particularly people who have Down syndrome. So it's going to be a lot more appreciation. They're going to be accepting to society a lot more, and they're not going to be picked on. I do see that here as well. We also have here, I am free of drama. So I feel like a lot of people are going to kind of dispute drama. But in this case, I kind of feel like in terms of drama, I feel like people are going to be more sensitive to sound. That's why I kind of like did this and I didn't realize I was doing it. It feels like people are going to be more sensitive to sound. So potentially their ears are going to be it's going to hurt, really. It's going to be like, oh, it's too loud. Even though it's like halfway on your phone, it's going to be very loud. Maybe you might have heightened hearing. So those are the long-term effects of COVID that I see in the cards here. Let's take a look at the short term, shall we? Let me know if you guys resonate with this. I don't think a lot of you guys would get this. This might just be the 1%, but that's what the cards are giving me. I have gotten something different every time I read on this, which is kind of cool. So maybe for some people, they get one of those. For some people, they may get something different. We never really know, but let's take a look. What is the short-term effect of COVID-19? What the short-term effect of COVID-19? Okay, so one of the major things here I'm sensing is depression, suicidal thoughts. So a lot of people might be depressed, but I feel like a lot of them, it's odd because you want to know what it feels like? It feels like it puts you in a very depressive state, but it also lifts you. It almost feels like it's a cure for depression. It's really weird. It feels like in some way, some people are cured of depression, and other people are in depression. So it kind of feels like it kind of cancels each other out. Really weird. I don't even know how to explain that, but that's what I'm seeing here in terms of the short term. On the left side here, we have today is a fresh start. Again, in the gut region, I do sense here, particularly the lung area, so some people may have a hard time breathing. I feel like some people feel very tired and they can't really do much. I'm also sensing diabetes here as well, so I am sensing a lot of some diabetes, type 1 and type 2 particularly, but particularly type 2 actually. But I'm getting a sense that the excuse me, I'm getting a sense that sun is very important here. Some people might be actually having an allergic reaction to the sun. I don't know if that's 100% true, but that's what I'm getting in the cards here. There's going to be some sort of allergic reaction. Potentially, it might just be a skin disease that is formed, and they grow lesions of some sort. This is the least likeliest to happen. This is just a short-term effect of it. As for one of the short-term effects as well is today I choose. I feel like people are going to have a more decisive way of choosing things. I do feel like in some way or some form, people are going to have to get help in one way. They're going to use assistive, what's the word? What am I thinking here? I've seen like handicap item, like a cane, a wheelchair. I feel like one of those assistants are going to have to help people. I feel like some people are going to be too fragile, and they might need some sort of guidance or like a guide to support them. Potentially, it could be a guide dog, a dog guide. Guide dog or guide dog? I don't know, but you get my point. There's gonna be some animal there that might be some sort of support that they need going forward. At the end of the deck here, I am receptive. Basically meaning that they are gonna have their brain functioning intact. They're gonna be completely fine. The only thing is they may not be as mobile as they once were. So I feel like this is kind of like the 1%. I don't think it's going to affect a lot of you, but that's what I'm seeing in the cards here. It would be very different than what I normally get in the other cards. So I hope that this does not happen to anybody, but that's what I see. That's what I guess. So I can't sugarcoat that in any way. That's what I just see. Doesn't mean it's going to happen. Doesn't mean that it's going to affect everybody like that. That's just one of the short-term effects. This is a possibility of many, right? All right, so now let's take a look at. I think Al Spears wants to add to today's video. Then I'm gonna do the Easter eggs. I promise you. All right, if you're new here, you don't know what the Easter eggs are. Basically, is where I take Easter eggs, put them out here with my bunny ears, and you guys pick whatever one you resonate with, and each one has a certain message for you. All right, let's take a look. Let's take a look at what Spirit has to say here. There was a dad who became suicidal after he had COVID-19. Unfortunately, he went through with it, but his family and doctors attribute his depression to COVID changing his brain. Interesting. Thank you for that clarification. That's very sad that happened, but I didn't really want something like that to happen. But thank you for the confirmation, even though that was very depression. I just really didn't want someone to experience that. You know what I mean? Is there anything else Spears would like to add to today's video in terms of the endemic? Stuff like that. Okay, for some people, in terms of what they want to add, some people are going to make a lot of money off the pandemic because they worked on themselves and they worked on what they wanted to do. They pursued their passion. For other people, they left their job, their career, they became stay-at-home families. Some people won't be going back to jobs, particularly because they passed away. Then I also get here as well is we have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, the 7 Pentacle, which basically tells me here that a lot of people are going to be in debt. And so they're going to be looking at other opportunities to make more money, which is, again, makes sense to why we saw people leaving their jobs, going to get better and more better ones specifically. Let's see, I can't see, it's just being blocked here. Yes, diabetes correlation and COVID causes deregulation of blood clots, so ongoing as well. Really? Really? Okay, so apparently my intuition is really spot on then. Not doubt my intuition, but I really didn't want it to happen, if you really know what I mean. All right, so let's take a look at the bunnies, right? Shall we? So the main question, the answer to the main question is the endemic near. we didn't really answer the question. We really did not. It's the endemic near. We have very positive information in terms of the pandemic or what it's going to look like afterwards, post-pandemic. We talked about will we be able to live in pandemic, and we kind of said that no, nothing's going to prolong the pandemic, so it's a no. However, will something quickly end the pandemic earlier than expected? Yes, it will be a Republican president. We talk about any major event that may keep. Oh, we just talked about that. Will we have to live with COVID? We said I don't know what I said. I can't really answer that one. But you see what I mean? My memory is not that good. What is the long and short term effect of COVID? Basically, the long and short term effects of COVID-19 is just basically what I just said. And are there any long? Oh my God! That's the last thing I have to cover. Long COVID. We have to talk about that. I'm gonna give you a little description of what long COVID is. I really wanted to cover it on my channel, so let's just talk about what long COVID is. So who would get long COVID? This is what I found on the internet, by the way. Research is honing in on the risk factors for developing long COVID and often clues for potential treatment. Oh, potentially that could be what we just talked about, the long and short term effect of COVID. We'll talk about it. I never read this yet. I just screenshotted it. Oh, a lot of what I just said is in here. Interesting. Okay, let's just read it. In one study published by the journal Cell, scientists identified 4 risk factors for what scientists tested upon patients' initial diagnosis. The 4 risk factors are as follows: the presence of certain antibodies, reactive Epstein-Barr virus, which causes mononuclear type 2 diabetes, the detection of genetic material from SARS-CoV-2 in the blood. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So that kind of confirmed what we just spoke about. Believe me when I say this, I did not read this. I just screenshot it and didn't even read it. So I apologize. I wish I read this earlier. And it's like read it to you, but I didn't. At least my intuition was spot on, right? In a separate study published by Nature Communications, researchers found 5 different factors that concluded will help predict who will be developing long COVID. The most prominent, however, lower levels of 2 types of immunoglobulin, IgM and IgG3, which are types of antibodies. Other predictions include being older, a history of asthma, which I talked about lung issues, breathing issues, symptoms of fever, fatigue, cough, difficulty breathing, gastrointestinal issues during acute COVID-19 infection. I talk about gut issues. I'm so shocked right now. This is like really confirming everything I said. I'm like really like shocked right now. I'm also really shocked. I'm not happy this is real. Like, but I'm happy my intuition was spot on. That's all I'm happy about, but not like for the thing that happened with this. So I just hope you don't take that in the wrong way. In this study published in the journal Gut, researchers analyzed the gut microbiome of COVID-19 patients at the time of their initial infection. Researchers found that patients with healthy gut bacteria were less likely to develop long COVID and had a microbiome similar to people in healthy control groups. So that's basically what I got, and I wanted to read on that, but apparently it's literally everything I just said in terms of short and long term. So it basically confirmed everything. So if we're looking for confirmation, that's the confirmation right there. I did not read it, I promise you. All right, so let's take a look at the Easter egg. Let's do the Easter egg messages. We haven't done this in so long, so let's do it. Hello, it's Easter Bunny. Okay, so basically what we do here is I kind of put my hand in, just kind of like feel for the energy here, and I take out a couple, whatever comes down is on the table. Your job is to kind of close your eyes, breathe in, and exhale for a little bit until I tell you to open your eyes. And then if you need more time, you can pause the video and you pick what one you feel really drawn to, and there's a message in there that you need to know. Okay? Okay. Okay, let me know if these does resonate. There's people out there who have done this with me and they say it resonates all the time, so I'm curious if it still does. Okay, so we have different eggs here. You can pick more than one if you want to. I hope there's actually message in here. It'll be upsetting if it didn't. Okay, so we have Easter egg 1, Easter egg 2, Easter egg 3, Easter egg 4, and Easter egg 5. Okay, you can take as long as you need. If you need pause the video and you need more time, feel free to do so. We're going to start with Easter egg 1. Okay. I'm actually going to show it to your screen so you can connect to its energy a little bit. Okay. Easter egg number 2. Easter egg number 3. Okay. Easter egg number 4. And then Easter egg number 5. Okay. If you need more time, pause the video. Other than that, let's begin. So your first message for those of you guys who chosen Easter egg number 1. This is your message. You will be lucky soon. For some of you guys, I feel like this is the lottery. Some of you guys are winning the lottery. I'm also seeing health. So health might be a very important issue. It's also Mars here as well. So some of you guys might be Irish. What else? Yes, Spirit Angels. Some of you guys might have lost a key. You'll find it soon. Some of you guys might have lost your key. I see that here. For those of you guys who have chosen Easter egg number 2, your message is eat healthy, go out, exercise, change your diet if you need to, eat a banana, right? I kind of feel like this is an insult for some of you guys. I don't know why. I feel like some of you guys might have never done this in your life, and you might want to consider changing your eating habits. I don't mean this in a very bad way. Just feel like insult. Like some of you guys are feeling insulted by this from your guys. Again, this is what your guys are telling you that you need to do. Even your higher self is telling you. So if you're looking at yourself right now, I feel like some of you guys are like kind of like in a state of shock. You're like, damn, he knows me. You know what I mean? It's not me. It's literally your guy telling you what you need to do, not me. All right, so for Easter egg number 3, your message is your guy said hi. So if you've been asking for people to come contact you, to message you, if you've been asking or looking for a sign, your guys are trying to tell you and communicate with you. For some of you guys, you're not allowing your guys to communicate with you. For some of you guys, your spirit guys are trying to open up a line of communication to you. So, if you ever wanted to and you don't know how to communicate with them, I would advise you book a reading with one of the psychics, your favorite psychic that you feel really drawn to and connected to, who can actually answer the specific question and have them talk to your guide and kind of be your middleman. As for your 4th Easter egg, for those of you guys who have chosen Easter egg number 4, this is your message. Your angels want to speak to you. So, okay, I feel like, again, ironic enough, there's a confirmation in what I said, so you probably picked these 2, right? Your angels want to speak to you. I think this is self-explanatory here. I don't think I really need to explain this. And for those of you guys who have chosen Easter egg number 5 here, the orange one, this is your message. We have here, this is a sign you've been waiting. Oh my God, I can't. Okay, this is not planned, by the way. This is a sign you've been waiting for. Okay, so this is funny. This is really funny. Okay, I'm just shocked because literally the first one was your guy say hi. They'll open up a line of communication. For the 4th one, you have your angels want to speak to you. And then number 5 is this is a sign for you. So I would not be surprised if all you guys picked every single one. But anyway, it's funny. I find this really funny. But let me know if that resonates with you in the comment section below. Easter Bunny out. Have a very wonderful day. I love you all. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.